Ah, you are finally enlightened enough to engage with me in a discourse of tastes. I'm so happy, Yoshihide. Perhaps you will evolve beyond simply learning the art movements created by the other maestros of the ring and found an art movement of your own someday. Oh, how I miss those days. While we certainly had conflicting subjectivities when it came to our tastes, I helped to form the structure and the intellectual framework through which Yoshihide's unique aesthetic sense and her exceptional eye for artistic beauty could thrive.
Alyssa!
It hurts so much.
I am not fond of people like her who let their emotions get the better of them. Most of them have fragile, thin bones that break far too easily. True strength comes in the form of agility and the patience to find an opening. The body does not lie, after all. Refer to my mannequins for more elaboration on that subject, but I've already expounded enough upon the core of the matter.
It's about whether all of their senses are alive.
Precisely. I suppose you have had the opportunity to enjoy a similar piece of artwork elsewhere. I'll admit, this approach is rather archetypical.
Apologies, everyone. Let me continue. More mannequins incoming. Prepare for battle.
Damn it!
Sinclair, listen. Let's just focus on the mission, okay? Don't look down. Don't look away. Look ahead.
But...
I know exactly what you're reliving. I was right there with you, in that village where that horrible carol was playing, where Effie was. But that's behind us now. It's over. What's done is done. There's no one doing it the way Dante rewinds the clock.
Maestro, may I share some of the remaining ingredient with Vasya? She'll be happy.
You may, Albina.
It's time to leave that burning village, Sinclair. Let's leave that painful memory in the past.
the past.
What sparked your wrath? Please do tell. What caused you to run headlong into this premature death?
Why? If you were just after the Golden Burrow, why? Did you have to kill them?
Ah, camaraderie. Even your motivation is ugly. To ask why the House of Spiders hunts is akin to asking someone why they exist. I do not get angry. Anger makes things drab and monotonous. So, I will proceed to elevate you into artistic completion.
What a meaningful piece of art. Truly.
Pardon?
But if I were to add a few words of advice, I think your work is rather uninspired.
Hohenheim, what are you... Right. I'll use the ampule on Faust and get her back on her feet if I can find an opening. The manager has to be occupied with something else.
Though I may not look the part, I like to think I've seen far beyond my share of corpses. It's nothing to be proud of, but I've spent years at a company full of these abnormalities. Many of which employed methods of killing my fellow staff that showed far greater artistic merit and depth than anything you have prepared here. Let me think. Of course. There was this employee who took on the role of the protagonist, staging quite a poignant play. Their role was to slit the throat of the captain they respected most, parade their lifeless torso around for 2 hours, and confess their sins to whomever they came across. I watched the play from beginning to end, comforted only by the fact that I was never really close with that individual. Because once the play had begun, the audience had to watch it to its curtain call.
You have my attention. Is there something you would like to impart about this artwork I am working on?
A few things. One, you're not making full use of your medium. What you show me now is no different from one of those cursory autopsy reports I can find lying around in my office. Your work can be boiled down to simply cutting open a corpus and rearranging its organs in neat order. I do recall, quite vaguely, some abnormalities with neither originality nor creativity. Much like this piece you're working on. And you've drained too much blood. Far more than what's necessary. That limits the spectrum of color in your piece. On a more positive note, the element I found most compelling upon closer inspection was the contrasting duet of veins and arteries. It is the kind of expression achievable only through a refined understanding of the human anatomy and its workings.
Oh! So you noticed it after all! That detail alone demanded more than 3 days of devoted labor, yet it failed to resonate with any audience, even with Albina.
Every artist craves the understanding of others. Art for art's sake is without meaning.
Yes, that is what I was here for. To create a revolutionary artwork, something to move people, and to observe them. But the others were still so attached to their hollow ambitions and ties to the secular world that they did not even pretend to understand my creations. I have harsh words, especially for Valentina, for always pickling her body in alcohol, stumbling into my space, and almost destroying my work. As for Rien, he is merely a self-inflicted imitation. No more than a simulacrum that mimics, at the behest of the prescript, the fate of a certain fixer in the library. I suppose I've gotten ahead of myself in all this excitement. Please do excuse my faux pas. Returning to the subject at hand, if you were to work on this piece, how would you add the missing artistic element?
The fasciculus of humans, when desiccated in an oxygen-deprived environment for days, begins to emanate a faint glow. Perhaps you could use that as half-decent decoration. Another thing. Don't trap yourself in a box thinking that macabre violence and the exhibition thereof is all there is to art. Make your art tell a story that's unique to you. An example. While the rest of my body is unremarkable, I am the individual with the most remarkably genius brain in this company. How about this? Split open my skull to reveal the brain underneath, and let that be your finishing touch. I hear that knowledge and the number of folds in one's brain have a direct correlation. This would be a good opportunity for me to observe that. As you must be aware, compared to other organs, the brain is highly complex and fickle to work with. I assure you, it will be a good challenge.
Yes, I agree. The harder the material is to work with, the more exciting it becomes when I've finally tamed it as my own. Now, come closer, and speak your name to me.
Hohenheim. I've never been so ashamed of my own name.
Stop! Mr. Hohenheim! What are you even trying to do? We're all too hurt to do anything. Faust, Ishmael, and me.
Well, my best, I suppose.
But...
I am well aware. My gear and weapon are utterly inadequate to defeat a man of such strength. But what matters is that I am determined to never regret anything. Ever again. Besides, there are moments when gambling may yield a rather fascinating outcome.
Remember, at the checkup, my placement in your scale of power was... I'm just not strong enough. I can't turn this situation around.
Stop thinking in numbers. Forget those rankings. One may come to mistake numbers as the ultimate truth of the world, as something that interweaves both rationality and analysis, however. The numbers themselves are but conduits by which we may physically realize and translate the abstract into the present reality.
The present.
It is time, dear Hohenheim. Thank you. Thank you for understanding me. I will preserve and cherish you until the day I am gone.
Yes, and while this may be an unnecessary concern, I would prefer it if you could avoid wearing something like that wide-brimmed hat of yours.
Ah, this hat. A long, long time ago, I wished to delve into the depths of the physical manifestation of my mind. Then I realized that my skills were yet too immature to attempt such a thing, and bound it together once again.
So that hat is a kind of helmet or a brace, as the wound never fully closed. And here I thought it was some horribly ill-conceived fashion choice.
And what significance does it bear in your present circumstance?
Well, I was hoping that I should be able to inflict some degree of damage with my surprise attack. How is it? I don't suppose you saw that coming. It is an ego called diffraction, extracted from a particularly tricky abnormality. I'm curious if you've ever learned the lesson that there's always more to reality than what meets the eye, or that the really important things are invisible to the eye.
Maestro!
My amygdala is shaking. The corpus amygdaloideum is connected to the brainstem, which is involved in the brain's emotional centers. Ah, when Yoshihide shattered that sword of mine so long ago. I believe I felt an emotion similar to this.
This is our opening. Faust and I are both almost healed. We can't give him any time to... Ah!
I can't let you do that. Not before we become friends.
Ishmael! Faust!
Oh, you're the one who suddenly collapsed in the research facility, aren't you? While wrath may indeed force your body to function beyond its breaking point, even that has its limits. "83% of your body has been heavily damaged. At that level, even properly wielding your weapon becomes a challenge. The corpus works in immaculate ways indeed. Every cause and effect is crystal clear.
Dante! If you're watching, do something! Please do something! I can't rely on others to solve my problems forever.
Don't leave. The others are gone. You're the only one left here to be friends with me and Fascia.
Get off me.
There are faster ways indeed, but I would prefer to choke the air out of him. Because asphyxiation is the most appropriate approach to ensure that the subject suffers for as long as possible without leaving any damage to the corpus.
And that is the maestro's special brand of mercy. He is demonstrating his act of creation before us all. Now, let us both become audience to this rare opportunity. Keep your eyes peeled to the end. In the future, I want to be a maestro who has surpassed even my maestro. What are your dreams?
The future. Suffusing within me is a scent. A stench.
I beg your pardon? My gallery boasts a perfect balance of temperature and humidity for the preservation of artworks. They are isolated from external contaminants at all times.
The stench that sticks, the scent of rot. I see. The smoke was blue.
Faust will
Sinclair,
make an
I'll
opening.
leave the rest to you.
Those prostheses! Let me purge them off you!
Fascia? Why would you? If you didn't want to be friends with me, you could have just killed me. Why would you kill Fascia?
I was getting to that part.
Oh, it seems that my perspective was severely lacking. Please, forgive my disrespectfulness.
It is forgiven. Huh. The air here is clean. I haven't breathed like this in so long.
Your eyes have been witness to such a vast spectrum of slaughter. I implore you, please, tell me, how does my gallery appear? Reflected in those eyes.
Huh. It's trashy. Like some things my life has led me to see of late.
The things you've witnessed, allow me to see it too.
It'd be meaningless to try to explain them with words.
Yes, and that is enough.
So it is. It's like you're asking, why didn't you tell us you had this power all along? But you must know, Mr. Hohenheim, that it's never that convenient. If we really want to get into it, I should be the one who's the most surprised. I didn't know about the sudden pull of this power. I wasn't expecting it to summon me here either.
My voice sounds rather hoarse, on account of the rather cruel choking from earlier. Despite being pushed to the point where I was about to lose both of my subordinates, I still found myself clawing at life when death came knocking at my door. Now ridiculously pathetic.
Don't worry. One way or another, she will overcome this ordeal and go on living. She's a lot stronger than you, or any of us, might think.
Is that so? That's good to hear. How many years have you traveled back?
That's not a question I can answer.
I'm sorry to say that it doesn't appear to me that you've come from a very optimistic future.
From where I'm standing, there isn't much to be optimistic about the past either. Back then, never in my wildest imagination did I think we'd ever have to coin the term the First Smoke War.
What? What is happening? Do you see him too, Faust? Or am I seeing things from losing too much blood?
I see him too. The sign has summoned you.
The sign merely behaved as a medium. I was the one who summoned me. The awakening and the summoning occurred simultaneously.
Then, is that...
No. Not every sign has this power. This is the power of my sign.
So you're from the future, not a mirror world? What happened to the original Sinclair?
There is no such thing as the original. This is unlike the mirror worlds. It is more akin to a different branch of the same tree.
Wait, hold on. Is it inevitable? That future you're from?
I don't know. Maybe. But it's not all misery. Life goes on, after all.
Do we really have no choice but to face that future?
I don't know whether the life I'd lived through prior to my summoning will be in your path, or whether you'll be able to avoid it.
But it will not be impossible.
No. It will be a difficult path still. Almost unbearably so. Now, I find myself thinking that maybe the journey I've walked my entire life, everything I've gone through as I trudged across the fields of battle, was merely an offshoot event of an offshoot world, designed to end here and now, To serve this very moment, and nothing more.
All has been cast into the realm of speculation now.
Correct. But if I can be a strength to myself, then I'd best accept that fate. I wish certain others were here too, so I could see everyone I'd been longing to see. Just one more time. Every now and then, I find myself thinking back to the days I spent aboard that bus. Those memories might be the only things that keep me going in the days to come. I should leave now, before the longing gets worse. I might be returned to where I came from, but perhaps this is simply the end of the road for me. Like death. Neither you nor I will know whether this is how I die. Still, even if this is where I end, even if my entire existence boils down to serving this moment and nothing more, I'm glad I got to spend my last moments with you guys, instead of being surrounded by dying comrades, and that's good enough for me. Oh, and Miss Faust? Don't grieve everything all at once. That's the only advice I have for you.
I don't suppose the promise of a reunion will mean anything.
Even if my sign were to burn again, there's no telling whether it'll be me again next time. Because there's
no guarantee. Well, I don't think you've changed much, at least from what I can see. Though it seems you've grown a bit taller.
So I have.
Thank you. It couldn't have been easy.